Joe. Crazy Joe. Yeah, I'm Crazy Joe. I be running through the snow. Got no pants, got no shirt, got no money.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe coming to you on a Friday night from the Regal Warrington. It is fairly busy in here tonight. We are here to check out The Naked Gun, the fourth film in the Naked Gun franchise from the Files of Police Squad. Look at this. They're giving out posters. That'll be my thumbnail right there. That's my thumbnail. They're giving out posters for The Naked Gun. And I'm a little apprehensive about this one. I love the first three Naked Gun movies. I love Airplane. But this is not made by the Abraham Zucker production team that is responsible for the original trilogy and the Police Squad TV series. Seth MacFarlane, who is very hit or miss. Sometimes he does some pretty funny stuff. Sometimes not. But he's giving us this, Seth MacFarlane. So, will it work? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I'm hoping. We got Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Liam Neeson playing the son of Frank Drebin. I don't know, let's go check this out. Naked Gun. All right, The Naked Gun. This is a tough one for me because I am a huge fan of the original Naked Gun films. I'm a huge fan of Airplane, the first Abraham Zucker movie. And Abraham Zucker, Zaz, as I think some people call them, they had a very unique voice in comedy. They did really, really good spoof movies, starting with Airplane. Then they did Top Secret and The Naked Gun and the TV show Police Squad that The Naked Gun was based on. They had a unique voice, and it's not easy to replicate because you notice after their movies became popular, there were a million imitators. Look at movies like Repossessed, which also starred Leslie Nielsen, which was a parody of The Exorcist, or things like Wrongfully Accused, starring Leslie Nielsen, which was a parody of The Fugitive, or Spy Hard, starring Leslie Nielsen. Notice a pattern here. Leslie Nielsen did a lot of these movies. But all these, even Scary Movie, which was the Wayans brothers, they tried to replicate the style that Zaz came up with Airplane. And very few have ever been able to do it. Ken Finkelman was the director of Airplane 2, the sequel. And Airplane 2, the sequel, Zaz did not return to do that because they were doing the Police Squad TV show. And Finkelman just kind of recycled a lot of the same jokes from Airplane. Like, it's a lot of the same. By the way, I saw Airplane 2 first because I first discovered Airplane 2 on cable back in the 80s, back on HBO. I never saw Airplane, but Airplane 2 came on. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing I ever saw. Then I watched Airplane 1 and I'm like, it's the same jokes. It's the same jokes. So Airplane 2 just recycled a lot of the jokes. That was how he tried to replicate their style, is by repeating them. So they have a very unique style, and Seth MacFarlane, who wrote this script, is very hit or miss. He is very hit or miss. Now, the director of this film also did the Chip and Dale movie, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which is a brilliant movie. Absolutely fantastic. Should go into theaters. But it's not the same style of humor. So the question is, can you replicate that style of humor? They do their best. They do their best. And I would say that maybe they do better than Ken Finkelman did with Airplane 2, the sequel, because it feels less like the jokes are recycled, but it does feel like somebody trying to plug into that style of humor that maybe doesn't quite have the knack for it. This isn't a terrible movie, and there are some big laughs. There are some moments that are just hilarious. But as a whole, it does feel like an imitator. It does feel like an imitator. It doesn't feel as natural as The Naked Gun, or The Naked Gun 2.5, or The Naked Gun 33 1/3. And the Naked Gun 33 1/3, the humor was starting to stretch a little thin there, but it still felt like it was coming from a place of like, this is their wheelhouse, this is what they do. That film wasn't directed by anyone from the Zaz team, David Zucker, Jerry Zucker, Jim Abrahams. It was directed by Peter Siegel, but the script was by David Zucker, and David Zucker was the producer. So you did have those hands in the pot, as they say. So that's their wheelhouse. They invented that kind of humor, basically. And because Airplane and Airplane, Police Squad, Naked Gun, very unique style of humor. I often see them described as slapstick. Slapstick isn't really the right word. Yeah, there's some physical humor, some sight gags, but it's a lot of wordplay. I'd say the closest relative to that kind of humor of Airplane and Naked Gun is maybe Who's on First, because you're really playing with the wordplay and, you know, saying something that means one thing, and they, you know, cigarette, yes, I know. You're offering someone the cigarette. They look at it and they go, so you just say cigarette, and they go, yeah, I know, it's a cigarette. It's just, you know, a lot of wordplay. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley. It's that kind of who's on first? Obviously, Abbott and Costello. That's the closest cousin I can think of, because nobody really was doing that kind of wordplay. I guess you could say it kind of falls in like puns. Maybe it's puns, but it's not even so much puns as it is just saying things straight, but taking a different meaning from it. And nobody else really was doing that, at least not on that level. So it felt unique to them. And they did it so well, and it came across so naturally. And here it comes off a little more clumsy. Like, for example, on the original Police Squad, they go, cigarette? Yes, I know. In this, there's a part where someone says cigar, and he says, it certainly appears to be. Same joke, but it's not quite delivered with the same panache. I don't know. This isn't a bad movie. It is funny. You will laugh in The Naked Gun, but I do think it feels like an imitator. It doesn't. I'm gonna, you know, if 5 stars, out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it 2, maybe 2.5. It's a little disappointing, but when you do laugh, they're big laughs. I think it's great moments, but it doesn't quite hang together as a whole. Also, every Naked Gun movie opens with a scene with the siren going through the city, and it's going, like, you just see the siren, and it's just kind of traveling to different places. Like, you know, go in somebody's house or roller coaster, and that's missing from this. Why wouldn't they do that? Every single one opens that way. All right, everyone, playing now. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open it, a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them bitches, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander damas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.